Good evening from Xavier High School that is as quiet as it is empty. After my message to you last week, I had a lovely note from an alum saying that my fireside chat reminded him of FDR. I was honored by the comparison. I'm not sure how true it is, but I'm honored nonetheless. As I was thinking about what to say to you this week, I decided I wanted to introduce you in a way to Robert Ellsberg. Ellsberg is the publisher and editor-in-chief of Orbis Books, and he wrote a book a few years back entitled All Saints. I love the book. Ellsberg talks about his own conversion to Catholicism, and it wasn't so much dogma or theology that drew him to the church. It was the people, right? These saintly witnesses, some declared saints, right? And then others who he met in all their imperfection and humanity. He spent several years working with Dorothy Day at the Catholic Worker. He edited the Catholic Worker, edited Day's diaries, and his great insight into the fact that sanctity comes in a lot of shapes and sizes, and ultimately it is our humanity and living in the fullness of our humanity that brings us to holiness. He wrote a book a few years back called Blessed Among Us. And that really has stuck with me lately, that phrase, Blessed Among Us. Because among us here at Xavier, in our community of students and faculty and alumni and parents, are these great gifts. People whose goodness and kindness invites wonderful things from us, makes us better. And I think, again, during these days, right, particularly important to think about those from whom we may be separated, but from whom we do the work. Classmates, teammates, faculty members, alums, folks maybe far in distance, but always somehow united in spirit. A few examples. Faculty, as you know, has been working really hard to try to get this distance learning right. Not always easy. Mr. James Costa has been out in front in lots of ways. Right? Saying, how do I make a better video? How do I do this from a distance that can really work for students? And great generosity in inviting others in and trying to share that with other faculty members. Think of my trip to the CHSAA swimming finals a few weeks back. Right? This great welcome among the swimmers. What did I see there? This wonderful spirit. Great presence of parents. Swim meets can go on forever. And yet parents are there sitting through all sorts of races their kids were not swimming in, just to see an event that might last 2 or 3 minutes. Right? To be present, to cheer, to support, to be together with one another as community. And truth be told, to lobby the president, if he shows up, to get more coverage for their sons. When I arrived as the 200 medley relay was winning the first race of the day and brought home a new Xavier record. Later that day, Junior Henry Engler won the 500 free. Again, another Xavier record. And surrounded by goodness. Among us, good things, good desires. Present among our students. One of the few things left hanging on the walls of Xavier is a math club challenge. Right? I think of Michael Manta's work with the math club or speech and debate, or his leadership in other areas of school life, right? Inviting other people in. This is certainly true among our alums and among former faculty. I have the invitation to Father Jim Keenan's 85th. In so many ways, simple ways, Jim spreads a love and a care for the Xavier community by remembering, by his own presence. We honored Richie Batts, the class of 67, Richie Battaglino, a few months back. A guy who would give a limb for Xavier or for his classmates. Goodness among us. I have a little symbol from the Camino at Santiago de Compostela, reminding me of my pilgrimage there with Mike Fernandez of the class of 72, a few years back, 5 years back now. Mike, who constantly invites me to gratitude. You don't have to look far. Among us are these great blessings. Among us are these great witnesses. In their humanity, in their faults, in their weakness, but ultimately in their goodness, calling us forth. As we're separated these days, it's important for us to remember the blessings among us that we experience, the blessings among us that we are to others. Thank you. Sons of Xavier, keep marching.